take 6. As a matter of fact, we've done this so many times that Mason's almost not even willing to participate anymore.
Yeah. This is getting out of hand.
Whoa.
So we're recording when the record blip is there on the top right corner. Yeah, so, okay. You know what? Maybe it'd help if I was a little bit more caffeinated than what I am. I'm just out of the zone.
Yeah.
And I got stuff going on, so I'm just kind of just thinking about other stuff too.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I know I wanted to help you with this assignment and I wanted to get it done and stuff, but it's like, it's kind of hard because, you know, we try to be careful on what we say so we're not cussing, and so people around us aren't cussing. And what happened was we have a freezer full of meat and it was unthawing or something. We don't know if the freezer went bad or what the deal was.
That's not good. You guys got a lot of food. You know that? Like, geez. I mean, I guess that's probably kind of normal for that many kids, but.
Well, there's 8 people in this house. We need a lot of food.
Yeah, right.
Well, we just got our cow processed again. It's like a cow and a half. Thanks, Abby. It's like a cow and a half, and
you know what? Before you go on, I just want to say for the record, this is unfair. They got a lot more going on than what I do. I'm boring.
Yeah, well, yeah, but, you know, I don't know. You have a lot of kids, and there's no way you're not busy.
Yeah, I'm busy too, but I gotta work really hard for anything actiony to happen, and a lot of that is really no different from what anyone else.
Knock it off. Right. Yeah, like right now, Abby's trying to get into the diapers. I don't know if she needs a diaper change or what the deal is.
You
want me to move? I can.
I didn't even eat that much.
I will.
I'm gonna eat a can of fruit, I guess.
Why does it feel like my table moved? I feel like I'm closer to the counter than before. So I rearranged the kitchen. I told you, and like I feel like this table's just like too far this way, so I kind of almost think I should change it and move it that way a little more. But
this is a fruit cocktail.
Too close to everything. Yes,
There,
good.
I like that and pineapple. I like to eat a lot of pineapple.
Want to see what I did in my arm the other night?
Your what?
My arm.
Your arm?
Yeah.
What?
In my arm.
Oh, I got something kind of like that too. I don't know where it's going to show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's kind of a little mark now.
Like but. I burnt mine. I'm meatloaf. Can you believe that?
Oh, I don't know what I did. I just seen it.
Oh, mine hurt really bad. It was burnt pretty badly.
Well, actually, when I was at work, I sliced my finger, like literally like put a hole in it. And I also, there's a few things I did. One day, I caught a gallon of paint with my face. Literally caught a can of paint with a gallon of paint with my face.
Ow.
Yep, I seen it happening the whole time. I'm just like, all right, brace for impact.
So how did that happen? Was it just like it? Were you stocking shelves and it fell, or?
Yeah, kind of. Like I was in the back, I was putting paint back, and I was doing one with one hand, and I was trying to put it behind this other can without, because I couldn't like quite like reach over on top of it because it was already on a top shelf, and I'm only like 5'9". So when I like tried to reach around it, it hit the back of the can, and like as soon as that can start to tip, I was like, yep, I done screwed up. Like I knew I was gonna feel it and everything. I just took it.
Did it like hurt though? Like, did you get any marks or anything from it that like hit you in the forehead? Like, where in the face did it hit you?
Right on the bridge of the nose, like right in the middle of the face.
Like, you didn't break your nose either?
I don't think so, but it literally felt like it was probably equivalent to getting punched in the face. But it was just kind of like, boom.
Ow. Like, did it make your nose bleed?
No, I was just, I was like, whatever. I mean, it made me a little upset. Like I was like, kind of like, I wasn't like on the bridge of, wanting to wreak havoc, but I was just like, okay.
Yeah. I've totally had those days. I mean, I have those at home too. Like, I'm just like, and I get so irritated about it. And then I'm like, nope. And I just walk into a different room and I'm like, nope, we're not going there.
Well, well, if you want to like, think of my temper meter from when that happened on like an RPM. Imagine the meter stick going from about like maybe around 25 miles an hour. Like I was a quarter of the way there. Yeah. I wasn't halfway point. I was for the most part just calm, but a little bit of me was just like, this workplace.
There's been times that like there's been times I've gotten so angry I started laughing hysterically, like to that point that I literally went crazy and started laughing about it.
I have to, but you got to be really
And I've done it at work too. Like when I was working at Newpack, I've been over pointing at a machine laughing as like the whole world was falling apart type thing, because like everything's just going into buckets, the food products going all over the floor. We're going to have to totally clean up this disaster, and I'm bent over laughing hysterically. And they're all staring at me like I'm crazy. And I just had the worst day that day. And I'm like, this is it. Like,
yeah, but
this is the tip of the iceberg right here. And I just died laughing. Like, I was so mad it was funny.
Well,
It was horrible.
The worst thing about it is when you do that and then like someone looks over at you like, are you gonna be okay? And you're like, just like, yep, I'm fine, because I literally went so mad that it skipped to happiness, and it's like anger doesn't exist. Like the happiness just completely overkilled it.
Well, you remember what happened to my car? My Nissan anyway, not the Eclipse, but the Nissan.
Oh,
Here, go throw that away. You remember you remember when I bought that green car?
I thought you mean the Eclipse. Isn't the Eclipse green? I remember having a green Nissan.
Yeah, no, the green Eclipse. that
Yeah.
I
When the
Okay.
guy hit your door.
And then at the same time, for whatever reason, I let a friend of mine use a vehicle in my name, and it was a Nissan Sentra. It was like a 1998. I don't know what it was. It was a Nissan, and it was a little gray car, rusty, like really rusty. It only costed me like $900. So I didn't pay a lot for it, but it ran pretty good. Didn't have a lot of issues. And a drunk driver hit it
Oh, that one.
right
Yeah.
outside mom's trailer. I just thought that it at the time, like I was woke up at 3 a.m. saying a drunk driver hit my car. Only 36 hours after somebody hit my car before that. And I'm just bent over laughing. And the cop's staring at me like, oh my God, she's crazy. She's lost her mind. She's laughing like, are you okay? I was laughing hysterically. Like, you know, you're having a bad week when you lose 2 cars in 36 hours. That's not good.
Oh man, when my car broke down right in the middle of the country, I was just panicking that day, just panicking. Like I freaked out at the first person that showed up right in front of me, which was the tow guy. And oh my God, I just hate that guy. I know there's a lot of like bad people in the world, but that guy is just awful. Like you see someone panicking, and the first thing that you can think to do is sit there and give them crap. Like not just sit there and like joke with them or whatever. And he's like, okay, I like a good joke, but dude, I'm having the most worst time imaginable right now. I didn't even know what to do, what to think, or whatever. I was just lucky I got paid that day. Excuse me.
Abby's mad and she's crying, and I'm trying not to get too much of it on video.
Oh,
Yeah, I know what you mean though. It's really frustrating when you start having vehicle problems. The worst thing to break down away from home. I've done it more than once. Definitely.
I didn't even have a phone
That's
call.
usually the more frustrating situation you can be in, I think. I think when you're having car problems, you're having a bad day.
Yeah, get this, everyone. I literally had my car break down on me right in the middle of the country, and I had no cell phone, just an iPod. And there was no houses to go to, or at least the ones that there were would not answer. I had one old guy do it, and he looked creepy, really creepy. He looked like them type of guys that, you think would chop you to bits. Just like open the door, and then next thing you know, you're in a body bag. You probably wouldn't know that, but you might if you're in the afterworld.
I know. I mean, luckily you weren't too far away from society. I guess you were able to track somebody down.
Well, even still, for all I knew, I could have had a shotgun pointed at my face. Another thing, folks, there is a lot of no behavior in that house.
Yeah, I know. And you got a bunch of kids, and then you and your husband got to talk about dinner. You just don't want to add it into the recording.
Right. I mean, nothing bad, but I mean, just. maybe a lot of words that you shall not speak of.
No.
Abel would throw a fit if he saw what you were eating right now.
He must really like fruit.
She is. I don't know why. And I told her to go up to her room because she was crying or screaming. Or I don't know why she's mad, but that girl wakes up on the wrong side of the bed most days.
It's just really hard to eat healthy, and even that's not supposed to be healthy, actually, from what I've been told. But I don't know, healthier than some things, I guess.
I muted it just on time that time.
That doesn't make any difference.
It's okay, Abel. I don't know why you're crying, but I think you should just go to your room too and play with Abby.
Poor misunderstood child. That would have been me too. I'm always misunderstood. Well, hello, the dog. Hey, Craig says, "Do you want to say hello to everybody?" I don't know if I can get it right.
I'm not
Craig says,
exactly sure. Crixus! Hi, Crixus. What's she doing, buddy?
"This is the smartest dog in the world, Craig says, dude. Oh, he's a good boy."
Hi, Crixus.
Dude, look who it is. Who is that? Oh, you probably can't see because of all the fingerprints on the screen.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Abel and Abby are mad. Yeah, I don't even remember what we were talking about. We were
I
talking
have no clue.
cars, bad days. How about Crixus, though? So Crixus was born in 2010. So he's 10 years old, 10 and a half years old, actually, technically. And he knows
Yep.
German, English, and
We
some
first knew him.
Italian language.
Yep, and we first knew him as just a major pain in our butts.
Yeah, when he was like 3 months old, our cousin gave him to us, and my dad decided one day to look up dog training on the computer, and he learned a lot about dog training and dogs and how it all works because he wanted to break Crixus of trying to play tug of war with the ankles of your jeans, because that's what he did. Plus,
Yeah.
we train them, keep them from digging holes and just all sorts of stuff. But
Yeah, he looked
really good.
Yeah, he didn't really chew on our butts, but I mean, he probably would have if he would have been in a bad home. But we were a good home, and he had a very nice family who had the Quentin too.
He gets really excited. He's an American Bulldog and boxer mix.
Yeah, but when it's go time, boy, does that dog like to throw down.
Yeah, he can play tug of war really good. I remember one time Mom picked up his rope or something to play tug of war with him, and he pulled her right out of her chair.
Yep, if she would have been like Rhonda's size, he probably would have not only threw her out of the chair, but probably would have completely front flipped her backward over him.
Yeah, that was. There's been times he's pulled me out of the chair too, because yeah, he's a strong dog, that's for sure.
Yeah, no kidding. You should see the dog. This dog's got muscles like.
Yeah, like
Oh,
really defined muscles in his chest and his shoulders. He's all bulky and he's like this old man.
yeah, he's not like. He's more like Bork.
Yeah, most people are, when they see Crixus, they get intimidated by him. What they don't realize is that he's like one of the nicest dogs. I wouldn't want to get bit by him, but he's such a good dog. He likes people. He likes socialize and stuff.
Yeah, a lot of people would mistake him as a pit bull, and he's part of the bull family, so at least they're getting that part right.
I have a pit bull. I
Yeah.
don't know where she went, but I'm gonna assume she went with Rodney because.
And if you've seen this dog, you would think, "Holy crap, that looks like Crixus," because
Yeah, they have like this almost the same fur, except Crixus is darker than Athena's. Not by much, but by a little bit.
right, and their facial,
They both
their
face
head,
is similar.
they're similar, not quite the same, but they have their fur has some really similar features and stuff. Not to also mention that Athena's a girl and Crixus is a boy.
And they both have kind of white fur on their chest and like down their forehead and onto their snout, which is kind of weird. Like they have a lot of similar markings, which is weird because they're totally different breeds.
How long has this been going on for? Because I'm afraid we're gonna hit another split point, and then that's just. I gotta deduct my assignment. I think. Actually, I don't even know what this is even graded on. Tips for grading. Let's see. I mean, it can't really be. I mean, as long as we're appropriate, I don't think it matters. Which we've been good, I think. We've been
Better than usual.
Yeah.
Can you believe how warm it is like this week?
Yeah, it's actually been pretty warm for this month. I mean,
Strange.
if it got any warmer, you could probably just cook the turkey outside.
You're not kidding. You almost could. I
Must
kind
be
of
nice to live in
believe,
Texas.
I'm like not totally sure, but I think we've had at least going for 20 minutes. So, I mean, if you want to say goodbye before we say something, or
Before we screw this whole thing up.
yeah, because this is like the 6th time we tried to do this, and
Well, here's the problem, because I also got to make a paragraph for this, and I gotta, overview the discussions. I would be, it's because they want the experience. They want to know what the experience is about in a paragraph form. I kind of wonder what I'm going to do for the.
I think that maybe you could tell them a little bit about what we talked about before, when the original videos were kind of messy. Well, my freezer, we thought broke, and it has a bunch of meat in it. So that's kind of why we stopped the last video. People like interrupting, or like my husband, I think, came in and swore at one point. We didn't want to have cuss words in the video. And I think that was a problem more than once, too. Abel, knock it off. I didn't know why you're crying. Why are you so mad? Yeah, I mean, before we talked a little bit about the Black Plague and how Peter Pan was supposedly the angel of death for little children. Neverland was actually heaven for kids or something, like it was based off of that, and how Ring Around the Rosies is based off of the Black Plague. And I think there was another one too.
London
Bridges. Yeah.
Down.
London
Yeah.
Bridges is actually about a bridge that really found London and killed people. And apparently these dark nursery rhymes or songs or whatever is speaking to little children. We think that's kind of weird.
Yeah, well, stuff happens when, you don't got a lot.
I think the real experience is that having to make this video over and over again, because usually when you and I talk, being that we're siblings and you're the only sibling I got and I'm the only sibling that you got, we're pretty close and stuff. So, usually we get carried away in our conversations. We're off in our own little world. And then, we're so used to talking to each other too, because we talk quite a bit and stuff. So it's hard to sit down in front of a camera and you're like, well, what are we supposed to say or talk about? Because not everything we talk about is really audience appropriate. We don't want to offend anybody or something like that, because being siblings, we kind of got our own language like most siblings do. So
yeah, well, I have a feeling that, I mean, I seem to talk about that sort of thing with I'm going to guess that when it comes to that conversation, usually, well, depend on, how do I put it? Well, no, let me just rephrase that. Like, it seems with a lot of people that's usually actually the topic of conversation, because, well, it's kind of like when you're talking with someone new and you don't know who they are, and it's kind of like this because there are other people listening into this, so you gotta watch what you talk about. But you know what, that's gonna be kind of, I guess that's just gonna be life either way. I mean, not everyone's gonna agree with.
Yeah, I think that's like, you don't want to strike someone the wrong way. You don't want to seem rude or anything like that. But you and I were kind of we're strange. I don't know, maybe the things we talk about aren't normal. I'm not really sure. Maybe a lot of other people are like that too. Like they, would they think that if someone else heard their personal conversation, that person would think that they're crazy. I've said things like that before. So,
well, I gotta say, if anyone thinks that this was bad, they should. Oh boy, they would loathe the conversations that I've had. End up having with people. Like, I've had darker than what you and I talk about, like bad stuff, and just when we have that sense that, you know, we both understand that, you know, that it was just something to talk about, not something that's got you know, actually mean
Not
anything.
something that has any reality to it.
I mean, you got to be able to build with each other on something if you haven't found anything. Like, I don't know. Some conversations
I
have
think
to be
it
dark in
depends
order to be.
on who.
Some people are
I
dark.
think it depends too on who, you know, you're talking with. If it's somebody who knows you really well, you know, you kind of just fall into a conversation, and it's really easy to forget that you're recording this, you know, and that it's, you know, it's your homework assignment for school or whatever. And I don't know, I think that's kind of what's, you know, more difficult about this homework assignment.
Appropriate is challenging because, you know, it's just it's like
Well, you know, even in
a
school,
challenge to say the right things.
right? And well, in school, I've had assignments before, and I've had teachers remind us that, hey, you need to keep it like PG. Um, you need to keep it semi-appropriate. Don't make it too bloody and gory of a story. You can't add adult content into it. You can't, you know. And there's within good reason of that, because, you know, there's just your like crowd or your audience doesn't necessarily favor those types of things, like Saw movies. You know, for example, somebody wrote that. Well, somebody wrote a very, very gory script because a lot of that was all in the detail. And, you know, I think like even with, you know, the Saw movies, the readers are probably like, wow, that's just crazy. It's gory. It's, you know, that's the type of stuff, though, it's not appropriate for school.
You
You know,
only
not
well,
everybody
yes,
likes
clearly.
a Saw movie because it's gory. You know, so you kind of, you got to know your audience. If it's not appropriate for your audience,
Sure.
you know, and so you kind of got to keep it level for the teacher's sake. And everybody's like that, whether it's a story, a conversation, don't swear, you know. I mean, it's everybody kind of has that. A lot of people draw a line, they're like, hey, you shouldn't talk about this, or, you know, um I'm not really sure what other way to put it, but it's just like,
But when you're the one
don't talk
creates,
about that thing.
but when you're in that career and you're you know, creating your own work of art, that's just, you know, that's gonna. I mean, yeah, it's gonna belong to whatever audience that is, but that's fine. That's just if, you know, people are
Right,
gonna like it.
that's the audience that you write for, though, so it's, you know,
Right.
kind of acceptable. It
And
really
yeah,
depends on what you're writing. Like, you know, um if you were writing like a romance book for teenagers, well, you would not put any mature type content in that book because it's for teenagers or like young adults. You don't do that. There's a line, you got to draw it somewhere. You know, that's like with
or
a scary kid movie. Well, you can't make it too scary. You're going to scare the kid a little too much, you know.
it's just whatever rating that you have to give it for. I mean, you can still write those, but you just got to make sure you're giving it the proper rating.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
It's like that with everything: movies, games, books.
yeah, and I mean, you and I, we know each other so well. We've talked about so much stuff. I mean, you know, we're kind of older too. So it's like,
Our thing is mostly, well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like a good, I'm really big in satire stuff. Anything. I am a very free guy when it comes to comedy, but I'm very specific with my horrors. Like it's got to be top notch, freaky, bloody, scary, or and it's like when it comes to horror movies, it's got to be like it's usually going to be ghosts because ghosts are the only topic that really involves with anything that has to do with I'm gonna get you, like like
I
it's just
try
got
to
that.
be open-minded with horror movies, but nowadays, like, I don't like a lot of the newer horror movies. I truly can't remember the last time I saw a horror movie that I actually liked it, maybe except for Insidious, or like
Right,
Normal Activity was okay. It
right,
just,
and see
like,
those are ghost films.
even those were like it was a stretch to like those. It really was. I mean, once you start getting out of the 80s and 90s horror movies, in my opinion, they haven't been very great. I don't,
But
I
you know
like the
what?
old classic horror movies personally.
I mean, there were some pretty good horror movies back in the day, but
I'm
at
sure
the
there's
same
some
time
newer
though,
ones too,
here's the thing: they like increased the effects, but like made everything look realer, but they're not.
like the plot line though.
Yeah,
Or
their stories are going stale, or they're not getting like. I mean, yeah, you can still catch
or
good horror
very
movies. I'm not saying that there's no such thing, but
like Lights
like
Out. I didn't like it.
yeah,
It was too predictable for me. I was like, oh, let me guess. He dies like right in the beginning. And Rodney's like, have you already watched it? And I was like, no, that's easy. It's predictable. I've seen way too many horror movies for this. I want something unique, but not
yeah,
far fetched either.
and
That's my problem
yeah. I like a lot of Stephen King stuff. Stephen King is amazing.
too. The king of horror. Definitely.
Right, right. Um, but but when it comes to actual horror, like to get scared, I mean, yeah, there are some good horror movies that are just to watch all the nasty or
Honestly, some of the times TV shows got more oomph to them nowadays than the horror movies do.
yeah, that's weird.
Like
And,
like the haunting shows or like certain ones, oh, those give you goosebumps. They're like right there. A lot of them.
right.
But this, yeah, the newer horror movies just not a huge fan of them.
Yeah, but there are still some good horror movies that you can find. Like, um, it's just, I mean, yeah, because I don't really get scared from horror
You
movies.
gotta have like a sharp eye for it. I
No,
watched
the
the
thing
newer
is, kind
version
of
of
have
Pet
to not have a
Cemetery,
sharp eye.
and I love Stephen King, and I didn't even really like the new version of Pet Cemetery. I was like, oh no, not even close as good as the original. Not, and it was more graphic, but it was still like, nope, not for Brooke. I like the old version.
I thought the movie was mostly just a little nasty and just a little messed up. That was my thing, but I didn't find it really that scary.
What's really strange though
You call
is
it
like that's not always the case for me. Like I'm not always about the original. A lot of times I am, and I always like the originals, but sometimes the remakes are better, and that's very rare. But in one occasion, I remember that I liked a remake better than the original. Was Amityville Horror in 2005 with Ryan Reynolds in it. That
Yeah, that
was
was amazing.
better than the original movie, I thought personally. Like I liked the remake, the 2005 version, rather than like the 1970s or 80s version.
Yeah, I didn't watch that one. I almost, you know, I didn't really think about that movie until it was just. I literally just got the movie given to me. I don't remember how. I think I was supposed to give it to Dad, but I think Dad said he didn't want it or something. I'm not sure, but I watched it with Dad because I told him I'd never seen it. He was like, "You never seen the Amityville Horror?" And we slipped that
Well,
thing
you
in, and I was like,
didn't get into
"Man,
horror
this is
movies
good."
until you were a little bit older, though.
Yeah, I know, but I quickly
So,
grew out of it though too. It didn't take me.
what?
I quickly grew out of it because it was just nothing was getting me very good. Like I had to pretty much watch anything that was like anything that was ghosts because
And
those are,
Amityville Horror's that, basically. It's a haunted house.
and that was, I'll admit, that was one of my most favorite horror ghost movies.
Yeah, it made
But
Aiden and Dakota jump. I had them watching it, and it was like both the boys were like, "Whoa," you know. I had to
yeah,
watch Scream too. And come right off the couch and screamed, and I was like, "Oh man, maybe you should watch horror movies, you know. Yet maybe you're not ready." And he's like, "No, I'm okay." So he started watching like Friday the 13th and stuff, and not screaming or freaking out about it. And so I think he
yeah,
kind of likes to get scared, but I think at the same time, sometimes it really gets to him and he kind of jumps. No, I'm not turning on TV right now. I don't know where the remote is. You go
um,
find it and I'll turn it on. Good luck, though.
yeah, but like I was like it. Here's the thing, like for me, I mean, yeah, they're I'm very picky about horror movies. Like I said, uh, when it comes to killer movies, like those, you gotta be really good, and to make those. You gotta make that. You still gotta make that pop out of nowhere.
You've got to have like a certain kind of talent to write something truly freaky, like something, I don't know, like even I don't even know if I have it, and I've always liked horror. It was actually always my favorite genre. I don't know how I got into romance, but
You
a
know,
lot of my romance though is tragic, and it's like it's dark, so it's not exactly like it's not exactly like they skipped off into the sunset or something.
here's another one. And well, actually, I think it might have been the Rob Zombie remake of Halloween.
Yeah,
Uh, that one, they did a really good job of scares on that one.
yeah,
But I gotta say this, and I'm sorry if you don't agree, but I didn't. I don't really find those original Halloween movies, or even the new one. I didn't find them scary. I found them entertaining, like oh he's gonna get ya, but it's more like
no, I kind of get that because like a lot of horror movies don't actually scare me, and that's I think that's why everybody's like, like
it's like you're
up,
cheering on the
growing
killer
up,
now.
our
You don't
cousins are
care.
like, yeah, growing up, our cousins are like, how can you sit and watch that? Doesn't it scare you? And when me and the two boys were watching the Scream movie, I started throwing popcorn at the TV and laughing at it. And the boys are looking at me like, God, you're crazy. And I was like, oh, you just got to kind of learn to laugh at it or something, like, I can't explain it. It just, there's not.
You need to do kind of like this. See, you can't just be showing the killer literally walking up to its prey. You're not
Yeah,
making a horror
like
movie.
the
You're
camera
making.
was the killer, basically, like the point of view of the killer, right?
Yeah,
In
like
Halloween mostly,
and
and it's been years since I've seen it, but yeah, I think it's okay to do it here and there, but I
It's
think
4
to do
o'clock.
it through most of the movie, you're really There's
It's-
something just not scary enough about that because he doesn't jump out and so shock you like, and that's what is scary. It's the
Yeah.
oh, that made me jump. Like that makes your heart race. It's scary.
Yeah, it's like watching like a reverse Terminator movie. Like you're just it's like you're cheering on the killer to kill him. Like, yeah, get him. Like,
Right. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I'm not sure, like, the directors usually applauded for that. In my opinion, Halloween would have been better if it wasn't in Michael's point of view. Like, he was actually applauded for putting that, and it's supposed to be one of the scariest films of all time. And he was applauded, I think it was Steven Spielberg. He was applauded for, or maybe it's not Steven Spielberg. Well, whatever. He was applauded for that movie. And I'm just over here like, not really. Like, where's the whole shiver down my spine, the heart racing, the oh my God, I jumped type thing. Like a horror movie's supposed to make you do. And I didn't do that with that movie.
I'll make a perfect example of what a horror movie's supposed to do. Like, imagine, like, the group is just sitting here talking, trying to figure out how to solve the problem, and then just bam, out of nowhere. Say if like they just, like, one of them just was like lean, like kind of like right by a window, like bam, like he punches through the window and he slits the person's. Actually, should I even say this?
He slits a person's throat, right? Kills them. But I mean, that's fine. I'm sure.
Well, I mean, just like it's just supposed to be random.
Right.
You're just supposed to the surprise.
Right. Yeah, I think it's it's definitely supposed to be the shock of it. The surprise, like you said it. I think horror movies really truly just develop around that. Not just that though, but the creepy stuff, like the really eerie. But it's got to be really eerie nowadays because every horror movies use creepy, like Amityville. In the beginning, they make that song sounds like children are kind of singing along, and it's like really eerie sounding. Or Halloween, how it has its little song to it, or Friday the 13th also. That's the problem. It's been done and done. It's like you hear that music and you know what's coming. And that ruins the surprise of it. But at the same time, a lot of that music, it's so eerie that it kind of sends a shiver down your spine. Or I've heard stories that gave me the chills more so than a horror movie did.
Right.
Stories that dads told me, stories that came from grandma and grandpa or mom, or just, like old legends, old ghost stories. I used to read a lot of ghost stories even, or like urban legends. And they had so much more. I've read some of them that they were freaky, like sent a shiver down my spine type stuff. And I can't really say the same for a lot of horror movies. They're just, if it ain't got that, then it's not that great of a horror movie. Hey, you two be quiet.
Yeah, so yeah, and they're pretty much getting to the point where these horror movies are starting to more just be like an action movie at this point. Just
or like kind of a thriller almost. Like some of them might kind of have you sitting at the edge of your seat, which is usually action or thriller. But yeah, I don't know. Not a lot of surprise anymore. As a lot of it became very predictable. And that's for, saying for most horror fans, really.
But there is one thing I gotta say. That's you know what
One
what
movie
I
I gotta give props to too is Joyride. Even though, like, I don't know if you ever saw that movie. It
yeah
wasn't
I have.
like real scary or anything, but it was like it was unique. That movie was different, and I really liked that about that movie. I watched that not long ago for like the millionth time because it's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah,
Settle down, you guys.
I haven't seen that movie a whole lot of times, but still it was so memorable that I don't even feel the need to watch it again because I know everything that happens. Yeah.
Right, but yeah, and I think they did better with the first one. I mean, I liked the second one, but I liked the first one better. They're like, the first time you see it was like, wow, yeah, that's a good movie. And it's like second time you see it, you're like, yeah, that's still a great movie. And even now, it's a great movie. It's just that all the shock from the movie, it's gone after you've seen it so many times. That's a bad thing about horror movies, is the shock of certain, like the good ones, the ones that do surprise you or take you by surprise.
Yeah.
Those are gone. Like the surprise, like it's one of those things where you wish you could rewind and watch that movie for the first time all over again. I wish I could do that with The Sixth Sense. That was a good movie.
Wait, The Sixth Sense, isn't that a sequel to that Alien movie?
No, The Sixth Sense has Bruce Willis in it, and it's a horror thriller movie. You never seen it?
Oh no.
Make Dad watch it with you. He'll watch it.
I remember what I was thinking of, and this was actually pretty cool too because it was based on a true story. If you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend it. Dad was the one who showed it to me. Messed up. It's an alien movie. It's based on real alien events. It was called
Fire in the Sky.
No, The Fourth Kind.
Oh.
And there's there's a second one. We haven't watched it yet. It's called The Fifth Kind, and we think I think that might be even probably just as good. So I think we should probably bring our attention back to that and take a look. But yeah, The Fourth Kind.
I like some alien movies, like Independence Day. It took me a couple tries to watch that all the way through because I know the first couple times I thought it was kind of boring. Fire in the Sky, I loved it. I could, if I could rewind and watch that movie for the first time all over again, I would.
Oh, this movie's way different from that. It literally shows live recordings from what actually happened with the movie.
Yeah.
So like there was this so like what they do is like with certain interviews, they split it, show you what really happened and what's going on in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my
God.
God.
That's crazy. I can't believe I haven't seen it. I'm going to have to watch that one.
It's messed up.
I'm going to rent it on Prime Video or something.
That's where we watched it, yeah. Like the things that they capture.
I've seen a lot of unsolved mysteries too about aliens that even sent shivers down my spine. Like some of them unsolved mystery shows are good.
I'm telling you now, this is like 100 times better than all the Paranormal Activity movies combined.
Well, I don't mean Paranormal Activity. I meant something else.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying that because it's kind of like the Paranormal Activities. Not really, though, because it doesn't take place in a household. It's about this. It was a therapist. It first starts off about this therapist who went through all these dramatic events. First, he's trying to help these people.
Why don't you two go play in your room?
and it like eventually she starts having like weird things happening to her. Like it's just, I mean, for one thing too, Paranormal Activity wasn't even real. This what was based on real events, and it's just like, ugh, how was this even possible?
Right.
I'll tell
Yeah,
you one.
I mean, I've seen a lot of movies based on true stories that kind of gave me that sense. So I know what you mean. I would probably like it.
I'll tell you one thing that happens. At one point, there's this guy. He's laying in bed. He gets like possessed by the alien or something like that. Like his like facial expressions are just like unhuman like he's just going something like that, and like he's just like his body just rises, or no, I think either him or no, I think it might have been the whole bed, everything just rises, just starts to rise, like, and it's just shaking, levitating.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Sounds more demonic.
It, well, they say it's alien based, but it's weird. But you know, another thing though too, I'm gonna tell everyone this: levitation, that is a real thing. I have personally seen my uncle levitate, and we're talking about like, what does Brad weigh? Like over 300 pounds or so, or weighed like that much or so or more.
Yeah, he's a bigger guy.
Yeah, he was a big guy. I watched this guy on Thanksgiving one year. He put his his like fingertips probably like about here-ish, somewhere in here, and one hand, he rose about like kneecap high.
Wow. Yeah, I saw our cousin Kevin do it too.
Kevin Wright?
Yeah.
Man, that guy.
He's a magician too, though. I've seen Kevin do crazy things, but I saw him levitate and he was in the middle of the floor with nothing there. There was nothing like.
Yeah, Kevin.
Chris
I don't.
asked him to do it at random and he just kind of got to his feet. He's like, okay, I haven't done this in like a really long time. So, but he did do it.
Yeah. And it's just.
And he rose probably 6 inches to a foot in the air.
You know, how they do that?
How?
A lot of meditation training. Brad, our Uncle Brad, he was, when he was over in Japan, he was in the Marines.
Yeah, I know.
So
I don't know, I guess so.
Yeah, he said he meditated over in Japan for a year. That's how long it took him to be able to do something like that. That just goes to show you how little we actually use that the human mind regularly uses their brains, and it's just, I can't. Oh man, I don't even. How do you explain something like that?
I don't know either, because the first time I saw Kevin do it, I was like, I'm speechless. Just, you don't think that somebody's just capable of something like that. It's crazy. But Kevin's done some strange thing. I mean, have you ever seen him with liquor bottles? Because our cousin Kevin's a bartender. And he used to work in clubs down in Florida. But he used to do these bottle tricks, and I've seen him do it, and
Yeah, he
Incredible.
posted one of them on Facebook. He blew a fireball with
He was in a music video too, as a bartender.
really, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know. You'd have to ask Dad about it, or
He's done a lot of crazy things.
yeah. He is.
I don't even know if I've ever met him.
He's interesting. Oh, I have. I've been around him quite a bit. I can't really say if you have or haven't, because Kevin was gone almost up until that car accident. I saw him because of Krista most of the time. If I saw Kevin at all, it was because of Krista. And I was, I spent a lot of time around her because she was my age. And that's, Kevin's sister. Well,
Yeah.
and then, but after that car accident he had, I saw him more after that. Him and Dad, I think, used to be pretty tight. But, older age kind of makes a lot of people fade away, too. Even from your cousins or just whatever. I mean, like earlier, I told you Brandy taught me how to ride a bike, and I'm basing a story off that for school and stuff, but at the same time, it's like it matters and it should matter. I mean, it matters that I learned to ride a bike because that was a big accomplishment for me due to my setback. But I haven't had nothing to do with Brandy in 14 years at least. 13, 14 years, really. Not since our earlier teen years, so
Yeah, I just
people just go off and they learn more about themselves. They discover who they are and what they want to be and what they want to do and how they feel about things, and you become different and you grow apart from people.
Yeah, I don't know. I never really had much of a connection with our family members, really. Just, I mean, or the one that we did just was very limited. It never went far.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that too, because I mean most of our cousins, you just roll away from people. It's strange. The life just takes you a different place. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's just that, everybody's kind of different. I think a couple of our cousins don't have a lot to do with a lot of our family either. When you really sit and think about it, we've been scattered for a while now. So it's just, I mean,
Yeah,
we get together,
for a holiday,
weddings, funerals.
Yeah, that too.
Sometimes you can get a majority of them in holidays. Usually not me, because I do my own thing.
Yeah.
But, just like I said, you spread apart from people. I mean, you're not similar or something. It's strange, or I mean, it's kind of sad because you're related. Your family. You're supposed to get along. You're supposed to, talk to each other. But, a lot of times it just, life don't work out that way. And you wind up, as you get older, you have like less and less to do with a lot of your relatives.
Yeah, well, I mean, when it comes to life, it's not really just about the people in your life. It just depends on how you want to define it, but
I
a lot
don't
of
think
people
it's,
think of it as this is my life
yeah, and
and
I
I
don't,
gotta write my story. And most people focus on more of their, you know,
themselves, right?
not really the
And
people
not
around their
worry
story.
about everyone else. And that's kind
Like,
of the way
yeah,
it's supposed to be anyway. You're not supposed to live your life to make everybody else happy. You're supposed to live your life to make yourself happy.
hmm
It's not about everybody else, you know.
yeah, everyone's just kind of like if you're looking at it from the clarity, people are just kind of like everyone is just the people in the background, and when we're looking at it from life's point of view, it's just
Right,
you look at it from the clarity in the back, and you're the only one up front.
right.
You gotta. I mean,
Get
if you
down.
want to put a good port, if you want to put that a good portion of people in your story, you go ahead and do that. But
Right.
a lot of
Abby
good
was
for the most
trying to
part.
crawl out the window a second ago.
Oh God. Well, would you say this is long enough? I mean, I really want to get this assignment done, and Dad's gonna be home in like 2 hours, and we're gonna be watching the Hunger Games, the last one.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've been on here for an hour, and that's
We
plenty
just
of
got
time. There's,
yeah.
I like I told you earlier, I don't know how to edit and cut the videos and stuff.
I think we
That's
kept it
what-
appropriate for the most part. I mean, there was that thing about horror movies earlier that got a lot of him, but
yeah, and you can hear the twins getting upset, but I mean, they're little, so kind of what are you gonna do about that?
yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, I think you have plenty enough to write about and to think about. I mean, I think most of our conversations are usually pretty meaningful. So it was probably good in a sense that you chose to do it with me. And I kind of know where you're coming from anyway because I go to school too, the same school.
Name one.
Yeah, the same one. So I totally get that. And we're not, even though we're on two different paths, they're not like 110% different directions either.
Right.
You know,
Well, there ain't no one better to do a
content
conversation with
creators.
than
That's what we're going to school for.
right. There ain't no one better of doing a conversation with each other than us and each other.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure if I ever got to do something like that for school, you'll be the person I'm calling to. 'Cause I don't know, So yeah, I don't know, but I think you're off to a good start in school and stuff from the sounds of it. And
Yeah, I can't believe I'm already halfway through. Well, I'm gonna be on my third class next week.
yeah, I think I can't believe I'm almost in for a year. Like I think I'm a year by February, I think. February.
Yeah.
So I'm getting like really close to that. I called Full Sail actually a few days ago to ask them about getting a master's degree and stuff. But
Yeah.
I think they called me a day or two ago and I really need to get back to them or just been busy.
I wonder if I can even, like, or, well, how our careers are even going to play out after this. I mean, with this whole COVID stuff going on, like, are we even going to be able to have internships? Are we going to have to,
You
I
know,
don't know,
I
will we
think,
get to work from home? That'd be pretty sweet.
yeah, I think it's hard to say. I mean, in a sense, with what I'm doing, I might be remote anyway because I just want to be a writer. That's,
Mhm.
I write stories. That's what I do. I like script writing. I've done that in school. That I had to learn about it. I really like it. I can't wait to try to write a script. I actually already have an idea for it. It's kind of gonna be, I don't know if it's like really a thriller, a horror, it's whatever. Anyway, I haven't really like fully decided how I'm gonna do that yet, but I got an idea for a freaky movie. So there's that, and I might write it at some point. I just gotta find the right time to do it, and it's gonna have to be really, really good before I ever send it anywhere. So there's that.
Oh, and I don't think I can count on Dad for being a customer for my product someday. He said he ain't gonna buy it.
Yeah, well, he hasn't bought mine either, I guess. So don't feel bad.
Oh, well, oh well, that's fine. I mean, it's just I don't know, just uh,
I don't think it means it's not that he's not proud of you or anything, or wouldn't
yeah.
be proud of you. It's just that he's doesn't have to use it.
He does what he just does him.
Yeah. It's just video games aren't his thing anymore. He got
Yeah.
old. Books aren't his thing either. You gotta kind of wonder how he wound up with such. You gotta wonder how he wound up with kids like me and you because he's like, I don't like books and I write books. And he's like, I don't like video games, but you like video games and are going
He likes
to school
movies.
to make video
He's
games.
like the blended in version of us. Like he
Yeah,
likes a visual, and he likes a good, but he also, he likes a good story, but he also likes a good visual. But he doesn't like to play the visual. He just wants to learn the visual.
and like he'll hear a story. Like if you got a story to tell him, like he'll hear it. But
Yeah,
if he's got to read it or if it's like he has to play it, he's
yeah.
not. Yeah, I know. We're kind of like I said, we're even divide between our mom and our dad because our mom kind of had the whole book smart thing. You broke the lid. Mom had the book smart thing, and dad really likes a good story. It's weird. We are pretty divided between the two, I think.
Hold on. You know what? I think that. Oh, okay. It sounded like Crixus was peeing on the floor. I didn't know what was going on.
That's weird. What was it?
I think it was the fridge because I think I heard it when I came home the other day. That like sounds like water's like as if something spilt like in the fridge or something. But when I looked in there, I don't see. Yeah, and I didn't see nothing in the
It's
fridge.
probably just the sound it makes when it kind of kicks on.
Maybe I don't remember ever hearing that sound before though.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird.
Oh man.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Kind of good luck to you. Kind of good luck to me. And
Thank you. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed this. This was, I know, very long.
I don't blame anyone who don't want to watch this entire thing. But I mean, can't say we didn't really, keep it live for the most part. You got a little slow at points. Skip ahead a little bit if you gotta. I mean, no point in telling you this now. That video pretty and over.
Skip ahead.
Thanks for telling me. Don't say I never warned you.
Yeah, even though we're at the end of the video, go ahead and skip ahead.
God, it's
That'll be funny.
when you get a warning sign, but when you get a warning sign, but it's outside the door instead of inside where you're trapped.
Pretty good. I checked it not that long ago.
It kind of.
The first time I cooked it uncovered and it turned out alright. So
I gotta share this real quick. That was another thing on one funny thing about that. I kind of got that reference from The Last of Us, because like you're trying to fight to survive with all these zombies attacking you, and then like you got the kids on the other side trying to get the door open or whatever, and you're sitting there trying your hardest not to die. Well, then when you finally get through the door, they look outside the sign outside. It says, "Warning, zombies inside."
wow.
They're like, "Are you kidding me?" Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so let's wrap this up. Finally, this is a final end. It's kind of like one of those, like you think it's gonna end, and just keeps going.
It's not going to end. We
All right.
do that a lot, though. I think we got that from Dad. Dad did that when we were younger. You remember that with Corey?
Brock, we
Yeah.
gotta end this.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, because I think I need to cover my food again.
Yeah, right. I mean, I'm sorry. It's just, yeah, this is going way too
Okay,
long.
yeah, we're gonna end the recording now.
Yep. All right. Thank you again, Brock. I
You're
hope
welcome.
everyone enjoyed this. Whoever actually stick through the entire thing, I appreciate it. This has been our video discussion. So, thanks again, and bye-bye.